Please be advised, the following presentation is not intended for minors.
So, I'm not the only one who thinks that video games have some pretty awesome music, right? Granted, I sure as hell am not one of those people that think that video game music is better than real music. But the right OST in the right place can really make a moment stand out in a game, more so than other entertainment mediums. Music in a book is good, but you don't have visuals. Music in a movie is better, but it still doesn't compare to the interactivity that video games can have. Preachy monologue aside, I wanted to make this chill video just talking about some of my favorite music in the games that I play. These are in no particular order, just to clarify. I'll also try to put in a few samples of each game's soundtrack in when I discuss them, so anyone who hasn't played the game gets a little taste of the music. Without further ado, let's get into the first soundtrack, and as always, thank you for watching. If you couldn't tell by my new profile picture and channel banner, I'm a big fan of Persona 4 Golden. While I did play Persona 5 a while back, it sorta lost me halfway through the game. However, Persona 4's story kept me engaged from start to end. Enough with the story though, this is a video about music. If Persona is known for anything actually, it's probably the music more so than anything else, even the story or characters. While I feel like 5 and 3 have more well-known OSTs, with Last Surprise and Mass Destruction respectively, Persona 4 has some stuff that I feel really gets slept on. Some personal favorites are Heartbreak, Backside of the TV, and Sauna. The calmer moments of Persona 4 really meshed well with the low-key jazzy vibe that the music can tend to have, which were some of my favorite parts of the game. Personally, I love listening to P4 stuff late at night, mostly since that's when I would stream the game to all my friends over on Discord, invoking the good memories and all of that. Anyways, I'll let you all have a listen to some snippets of my favorites. If I were to sum up the soundtrack of Metal Gear Rising, I would just say that it kicks major ass. It really helps elevate the game from a standout hack-and-slash action game to one of the few games that really makes you feel like you're playing an anime because it gets so hype. What with the dialogue that gets so edgy, it just loops around back to being badass, the over-the-top plot, and the visceral gameplay. It all really serves to hype you up to the max, and it sure as hell succeeds. All of the standout themes are the songs that play for the boss fights, but I can't overstate how much they improve these fights. They really do take a 10 out of 10 encounter and bring it all the way up to a 13 or something like that. My personal favorites are I'm My Own Master Now, The Hot Wind Blowing, and It Has to Be This Way. Same as before, I'll give you all a chance to hear some of my favorite bits of these tracks. Enjoy! toning it down from the insanity that is Metal Gear Rising, I want to talk about the soundtrack of potentially my favorite game of all time, Left 4 Dead 2. While Persona and Metal Gear had music that was more akin to, well, actual music, the soundtrack of Left 4 Dead is much more atmospheric. Now, I'm not at all saying that atmospheric music is better than more traditional music in games, but the stuff in Left 4 Dead really helps sell that you're in a zombie apocalypse. With tracks such as Pray for Death and Hard Rain, you can really get a sense of how dismal the world of Left 4 Dead is. While they're definitely meant to keep you on your toes, they have a sense of dread and omen of misfortune to them. Their darker nature helps give the sense that while you are fighting off waves of the infected, you're fighting a pointless battle. It's almost like these are being played to send off a band of troops to their deaths in some sort of suicide mission, especially in Hard Rain. Take a listen. Now, you've probably got an idea for what I'm doing here. A more casual soundtrack followed by a more intense one, right? Anyways, Payday II. This is one of my personal favorites. Payday is a game that has very little downtime to it. After all, you are robbing banks, cooking meth, or killing some version of the mafia. The songs you have the ability to play are all fantastic, but the part where they kick in, known as the assault phase, really kick in. Just like with Metal Gear Rising, the songs work to get you hyped up and heighten your senses, keep you on your toes, that sort of thing. It's admittedly much harder to narrow down my favorites in this one, since there are just so many bangers. I'll expand the list a bit more than usual, just for this one though. Okay, that's a lie. Some of the best are Left in the Cold, Death Row, Razormind, Break the Rules, Don't Act Dumb, and I Will Give You My All 2017. However, Trouble's Always Inbound is another great track, which is probably playing right now. As you can likely tell, it's much more low-key and chill than the others, but it still gets you in the mood to play the game, move around, shoot people, all that stuff. In any case, here's a chance to listen to some of the others. This one's a bit surprising. You probably wouldn't expect a Pokemon soundtrack to be on here, would you? I mean, Nintendo makes some fantastic soundtracks. I mean, take a look at Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, or even Mario Kart. But I think that Explosive Sky managed to edge out beyond those masterpieces. Why? Well, I'm gonna explain, of course. That's the point of this video. I personally feel like this soundtrack really encapsulates the feeling of going on a grand adventure, more so than most of the other games that I've ever played. It just has that bombastic, adventurous, curious feeling to the music that sells the vibe that you and your buds are exploring the vast world of Pokemon. I think the Exploration Team theme, Treasure Town, Steam Cave, Planet's Paralysis, and Dialga's Fight to the Finish are some of the best tracks in the game. Especially the last one. It always gets me hella emotional. Ugh. Rather than talking about one specific game, I'm going to talk about the tracks that Half-Life as a series has utilized. Since each game doesn't have too many standout songs, I feel like, but the series as a whole certainly does. Half-Life excels at atmospheric music, just like Left 4 Dead. This does make sense, given that they're both made by the same company. While I talked about how Left 4 Dead songs tended to have an air of dread to them, Half-Life tracks tend to have a sense of urgency to them, usually with a sciencey feeling to them. By that I mean they use synths and stuff like that. It's good stuff. Anyways, some of my favorites from across the series are Bust from Opposing Force, CP Violation, Dark Energy, Requiem for Ravenholm, Tragedon, and Apprehension and Evasion, all from Half-Life 2, and Garage Combine from Half-Life Alyx. Have a listen. Well, here's the last soundtrack for the video. Well, do you hear it? You don't? Well, there's a pretty good reason for that. Just about every song in this game is copyrighted, so I'll make this one brief so you guys aren't left wallowing in silence for all too long. Life is Strange has a ton of really emotional tracks that get you in the heads of the characters. For me, this really helped the game get even more immersive, as I was in a similar life situation as the protagonist, Max, when I first played the game. Going to a new school, dealing with school stuff, people, all of that. In any case, this game has a fantastic collection of licensed music that you should definitely give a listen to. My all-time favorite track in this game is Message to Bears by Mountains. A banger, but a solemn and sad one. Well, wasn't that a sad note to end off on? I hope you all enjoyed the video though. I'm still experimenting with this style of content and figuring out what I want to do with my channel, so don't blame me if I don't do this type of video again for a while. Maybe I could do it for my favorite movies or games in general, talk about why I like them. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. As always, thank you for watching, and have a great day. Oh god, burp. Huh. Ugh. Ugh.